I got my biggest paycheck yet, and in times like this, it's very easy to throw all your money in, get excited, and FOMO in the markets. But guys, this challenge is not about impulse, it's about rules and discipline, and this week definitely tested that. So last week I actually did not make a video, so we have 2 paychecks to stack this week. And from now on, I am going to do a TA segment in this video. So if you guys are curious about the TA, because I know you guys watch for the TA, and I thought I might as well put TA on Monday's video and Friday's video so I can get some sort of TA 3 times a week, because the market changes quickly and I don't want to make a brand new TA video, so I might as well just throw it into here. Now let's get straight into the portfolio. Now last week I got a raise and I thought I was going to get paid more, but that wasn't enacted until the week after. So that paycheck was actually on the 12th. And now we are going to add in the biggest paycheck we've had yet, because I actually worked 50 hours last week. In the week before that, I worked 60 hours. And on that 60-hour week, I actually grossed about $1,290. Now, after taxes, I took home about 896 Canadian dollars. That's roughly about 30% of my paycheck gone. I did not expect overtime to hit that hard. I did not think the taxes were going to be that much, but it is what it is. I can't really control that, only to a certain extent. And of course, when we get our tax return, we will use it to reinvest, and I will add that all together and everything, but we are long from there. So I do estimate this week's paycheck is going to be about $730, and I am going to get paid that tomorrow because I did work 50 hours last week. Now, I did not deploy any of this cash. And no, it's not because there wasn't a good buying opportunity. I did deploy a lot of cash in the main portfolio on this dip. But for my portfolio with my paycheck, I've decided that I definitely want to enter on much lower prices. So I haven't done any buys, I haven't used any leverage, I haven't used any margin, I'm literally just stacking cash. And we are sitting at a clean $3,483 collected in about 5 weeks. So now I'm going to move on to our weekly log. And I know people are getting excited about Bitcoin, but realistically, I don't think anything has changed structurally. I think Bitcoin is still compressing. I think it's still ranging. And until we get 60K and below, I don't think I'm going to touch it for the time being. So Bitcoin is sitting at 67,500. And in Canadian, that's about 92,700. Now the USDT price is always fluctuating. So the real number we were at last week was 2,742. And this week we have added about $730, which gives us $3,472 on the dot. Now we did not spend anything last week, but I am officially out of cash. So I will probably be having to pull from my paycheck in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now, this week wasn't perfect, okay? The reason I don't have any money left is because Valentine's Day happened. I spent money. Life costs money, okay? After bills, gas, food, everything, I ran out of money, and that's just reality, unfortunately. Obviously, my stack of cash wasn't going to last forever. It was a couple $100. But this challenge isn't about pretending every week, okay? I'm being realistic. I'm cutting every small leak I can. Now, this is pretty much all my bills I'll have to worry about. I did add a small subscription to help me with editing. That's about $17 a month, so I will have to add that. And I am going to cut some small leaks in my bills because a certain bank account didn't give me what I wanted. I didn't get approved by them, so I'm going to close the bank account. There's no point in having it, and I'm paying $12 a month, so it's just wasting my money. So I'm obviously going to cut that. And I have one credit card that charges me a fee, so I'm going to cancel that as well. Just small optimizations, and I'm trying to really nail this down, because now that we're going to have to be taking money out of our paycheck, we're actually going to be having to document every single bill. So cutting out all the nonsense is definitely a main priority for me. So for this week, I will not say I didn't spend anything. I'm going to keep that blank, and then we will update it next week to see what bills I actually had to pay. Now, since it is the end of the month, we are going to review our projection, and we are also going to fill out how much money we have since it's the end of the month. Now, in February, I was expecting to have about $6,660, and we are nowhere close to that, but keep in mind, we did work late and we missed 3 weeks of work. Remember, this is a projection. If I can work 60 hours a week, everything goes perfect, Now, is reality going to be like that? No, but we will try and make it as close as possible. So if we go here, we had a portfolio value of $600 at the end of January. And at the end of February, we are sitting at $3,472. Now, I'd say that's pretty impressive. I'd say we're growing quite quickly. And if I work nothing but 40 hours a week for the next month, we should be sitting at about 5,300 at the end of next month. So let's see if that actually happens. Now, I want to let you guys know that I am going on vacation soon and I won't be making money for about a month, but we will deal with that when we get there. It's not really that important. I will still be making videos on vacation, but money-wise, we're not going to be making money for about a month. I want to quickly talk about my hours worked and my mindset while we look at the Bitcoin chart here, because working 60 hours and then 50 hours back to back, I'm not going to lie, it was very difficult. I felt like I was hanging on by a thread for YouTube. Specifically, I was posting late, I was rushing edits, I wasn't doing YouTube shorts. Now, I got 4 days off, so I was able to put everything together and kind of get back in line again. But my YouTube has been slowing down, so seeing it slow down mixed with me not able to give the best quality content, mixed with the hours and hours of work, it was very difficult. And I'm not even gonna lie, these last 4 days, I've just been very tired. I've still been doing content and I'm getting everything ready for you guys, but I feel like the universe is testing my patience and my endurance. And I know if I keep pushing through and I keep making videos, I will be successful and I will complete my goals, even if it takes longer than I think it will. I'm not gonna break just because I feel uncomfortable. I'm going to keep pushing, and I appreciate all of you that have stuck around. Now, to summarize this video before I do the TA, we have $3,471 stacked. We're waiting for 60K Bitcoin in below, and until then, I'm staying patient. Now let's get into the TA part of this video. So yesterday we talked about how Bitcoin broke within the middle of our range. It broke back above, but I thought that it is all fake. I don't think that this pump is going to result in anything. And even if we do get a breakout, guys, the bull market is not back, okay? The bear market is not over like that. It doesn't matter if we go to 72. It doesn't matter if we even push to 80 or 82. We will go back down. People are already latching onto this idea that the bull market is back. Guys, I don't want to burst your bubble, but this means absolutely nothing. I've been seeing this narrative that Jane Street is done, so then the bull market's back on and Bitcoin's pumping now. If you guys think just because one firm is getting sued that market manipulation has just vanished out of this market, then you guys have no idea what kind of market you're in. These pumps and this manipulation is going to continue for Bitcoin forever, at least until it becomes maybe a $10 trillion market cap asset. Now, in 2022, we did pump in March, followed by a dump going into April, and that was the biggest dump of the bear market. In 2018, it wasn't exactly so. We actually pumped in February, we dumped in March, and then we pumped in April, dumping in May again. But in 2014, it was a similar situation. We had a big bottom in February, followed by a massive pump in March, only to fall back down. So just because we are rallying right now does not mean anything. We will see these levels again and we will fall below these levels. The bear market is nowhere near over. Now on the weekly, the bullish momentum is declining. I will give you guys that, but the week is not over. On the daily, we are picking up steam again, and on the monthly, we are still bearish. Now the month is almost over. We're still waiting for that monthly close. And other than that, guys, I'm not getting too crazy. Now, I do want to mention USDT dominance because we did have a massive dump off here. And if we do have a counter trend rally and Bitcoin does move up to maybe 82K, then it is definitely possible we come back here, we retest this dotted line or even this median line. There is massive support here, and I do not think that USDT dominance will fall below this, meaning that I do not think that Bitcoin will get above probably this massive resistance here. So I'm still bearish. Nothing has changed for me. Maybe we get a counter trend rally, but at the end of the day, guys, we are going to reject. We are going to come back down to these levels. We are not going to all-time highs. The bull market has not resumed. So that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. I will see you guys on Monday. Peace.